Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we re-diving deep into the history of something you probably use every single day without a second thought, the spoon. It seems so simple, right? A handle and a bowl? But believe me, the story of this humble utensil is anything but boring. It's a wild journey that involves shells, sharpened bones, and even a bit of controversy. So, grab your favorite cereal or ice cream, and let's scoop up some history. Our story starts long before stainless steel or fancy silverware sets. We're talking tens of thousands of years ago, back when our ancestors were just figuring things out. Before they could forge metal, they had to get creative. The very first spoons weren't spoons at all, at least not in the way we think of them. They were found objects, scooped out piece of wood, a conveniently shaped stone, or most commonly, a seashell. The word spoon itself actually comes from the Anglo-Saxon word spone, which means a chip of wood. It makes sense, right? You find a piece of wood, hollow it out a bit, and boom, you have a tool for scooping up liquids or grains. Easy, effective, and disposable. Nature's own cutlery. Early humans were resourceful. They used whatever was available. In coastal areas, shells were the go-to. Inland, they might use animal horns, carving them into a scoop shape. These early tools were purely functional. There was no decoration, no status symbol attached. It was simply about getting food from the pot to your mouth without burning your fingers or making a huge mess. It was a fundamental step up from just using your hands for everything, especially for hot liquids like stews or broths, which were becoming a staple of the human diet as cooking techniques evolved. Now, this is where things get a little weird. And honestly, this is the part of spoon history that really fascinates me. As humans started to develop more advanced tool-making skills, the materials they used for spoons got more diverse, and in some cases, pretty macabre. We have archaeological evidence of spoons being carved from bone, and not just any bone. While animal bones were common, some ancient cultures used human bones. Yes, you heard that right. Skulls in particular were sometimes fashioned into bowls or scoops. Now, before you get too grossed out, it's important to understand the context. This wasn't necessarily a sign of barbarism. In many of these cultures, using the remains of an ancestor or even a vanquished enemy was a way to honor them, absorb their strength, or carry their spirit with you. It was a deeply ritualistic and symbolic act. It's a stark reminder that objects we see as purely practical can have profound cultural and spiritual meaning. Let's fast forward to the ancient civilizations we know a bit more about, like the Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans. This is where the spoon starts to look more familiar. The wealthy elite in ancient Egypt had ornate spoons made from ivory, flint, slate, and wood. Many of them were beautifully decorated, carved with religious symbols or hieroglyphs. They weren't just for eating. They were also used for ceremonial purposes, like anointing with sacred oils. These spoons were often buried with their owners, showing just how valuable they were considered. The Greeks and Romans took it to another level. They loved their luxury. For the rich, spoons were crafted from bronze and silver. The designs became more standardized. We start to see the classic rat tail design, where the handle tapers down and is attached to the back of the bowl. The Romans had two main types of spoons: the ligula, which had a pointed handle for spearing food, kind of like a modern spork, and the cochlear, a smaller spoon with a round bowl, which was specifically designed for eating snails and eggs. That's right, they had a dedicated snail spoon. Talk about specialization. Meanwhile, the common folk were still using spoons made of wood or cheaper metals. The spoon was officially becoming a status symbol. The material your spoon was made from said a lot about your place in society. Then came the Middle Ages. For a long time, not much changed for the average person. Wood was still the material of choice. However, for royalty and the nobility, things got even fancier. This is the era of the apostle spoons. These were sets of 13 spoons, each with a handle topped by a figure of one of the apostles, with the 13th being Jesus Christ. They were incredibly popular christening gifts among the wealthy. If you received a full set of apostle spoons, you were a very lucky baby. It was like getting a luxury car for your first birthday. These spoons were usually made of silver and were a massive display of wealth and piety. During the medieval period and into the Renaissance, the shape of the spoon started to evolve. The bowls, which had often been fig-shaped or pointy, gradually became more oval, and the stems became flatter. People started eating more liquid-based foods like soups and porridges, and this new shape was just more practical. It's a great example of form following function. As our diets changed, our tools changed with them. The real revolution for the spoon, the moment it became a tool for the masses, didn't happen until the 18th and 19th centuries with the Industrial Revolution. New manufacturing techniques made it possible to mass-produce cutlery. Materials like pewter and nickel silver, an alloy of copper, zinc, and nickel, made spoons affordable for middle-class families.
Yes.
Suddenly, you didn't have to be a king to own a set of matching spoons. This is when the modern dinner set as we know it really started to take shape. Around the same time, the design of the spoon was standardized. The fiddle pattern, the Old English pattern, these designs became widespread. And in the early 20th century, the invention of stainless steel changed the game forever. It was durable, it didn't rust, it didn't tarnish, and it didn't give your food a weird metallic taste. It was the perfect material for cutlery. Stainless steel democratized the spoon once and for all. And the innovation didn't stop there. Think about all the specialized spoons we have today. The grapefruit spoon with its serrated edges, the soup spoon with its big round bowl, the tiny little demitasse spoon for stirring espresso, the iced tea spoon with its comically long handle, and of course, the king of all modern spoons, the spork. A masterpiece of engineering, beloved by schools and fast food chains everywhere. We've come a long way from scooping with a seashell. So, the next time you're stirring your coffee or eating a bowl of soup, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey that little tool in your hand has taken. From a simple chip of wood or a shell on a beach, to a ritual object made from human bone, a silver status symbol of the rich and powerful, and finally to the everyday utensil in millions of kitchens around the world. The history of the spoon is the history of human ingenuity, culture, and our ever-changing relationship with food. It's a story of survival, status, and steel. What a journey, right? It's amazing how much history can be packed into such a simple object. What's the weirdest or coolest spoon you've ever seen? Let me know down in the comments below. Love to hear about it. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this little scoop of history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind everyday things. We'll see you in the next one.